Alright folks, welcome back. Another exciting episode today. This one is on shelves. It is in my kitchen, but these can also be used in your man cave. Obviously, they're just shelves. But to get started, you're going to need a few planks of wood. I had this nice slab of pine laying around that I wanted to use for this. So to get things started, I'm going to cut it in half. And then once I have it cut, I'll run it through my joiner to give it a nice planed edge. And then making sure both the top and the bottom face are nice and even, I'll run it through my thickness planer. And then after that, I'll even out the ends by cutting it with a miter saw. And if you don't have any of those tools, totally get it. Just go to any home improvement store. They have plenty of different sizes of woods you can use for this. But ideally what you want to do is sand it, make it really smooth, and then put some sort of polyurethane or polyacrylic or wax finish just so it's a little bit water resistant, in case the dishes are wet when you put them away. But to hang these up, I have a link in the description on where to get these. They're just simple brackets that I'm going to hang in the wall. To mount them, you just want to find the stud. Measure out where you'd like them all to go, and then pre-drill your holes. But after that, the brackets go up nice and easy, right into the wall. So once the brackets are mounted to the wall, you can start putting up the shelves. And to attach them, you just drill in from the bottom. Now by themselves, each one of these brackets can hold 15 pounds each. So using 3, you get 45 pounds per shelf, which is pretty decent. I don't intend on putting more weight than that on these, but just in case, I'm going to reinforce these with a bit of wire. And to help with that, I'm using these stoppers, which are 3 32nds of an inch, and then wire that's the same size, and then eye hooks. To put the eye hooks in, all you want to do is pre-drill so you don't split the wood when you insert them. And I'm not going to put them in the whole way, which I'll show you why later. For leverage, I'm using a pencil. For this project, I'm only mounting them to the outside corners, and I'm putting the second shelf right on top so I can line the rest of the eye hooks up. Again, make sure you pre-drill so you don't split the wood. Once the eye hooks are ready, you can start attaching the second shelf. A tip for hanging the rest of the eye hooks is using a level to make sure it all lines up. Or just a really large straight edge will work. So once those are in place, I can start working with the cable. And if you've ever tried to cut steel cable before, it could be a bit of a hassle. I mean, not that bad, but if you need a little extra help cutting these, get the largest set of pliers you have and then hit it with a hammer, and that should do the trick. So other tools you'll need besides your safety glasses, of course, are the pliers you're going to use to cut it, vice grips if you're working alone, and then a hammer to persuade the wire to cut a little easier. And another tool you will need is a crimping tool. I highly recommend this one. I have a link in the description on where to get it. I was a little bit impatient and I ended up using bolt cutters, and if you're really careful, those will work just fine. I don't recommend them, but if you have nothing else and you don't want to buy anything, those will work. So to get started, I'm going to cut the wire that I need to make this connection. And I'm just using double the amount of what I actually need in case I need to trim off a piece or I underestimated how much you need. But to use these stoppers, you just feed it in to the one side, loop it into the eye hook, and then go back into the stopper. And since I'm working alone, it's really nice to have a pair of vice grips to hold it while you crimp the stopper. Again, these are bolt cutters. I don't recommend them because you are actually able to cut cleanly through them with minimal effort, so you have to be really careful if you're using these. Basically what you're looking for here are 2 lines that run parallel. These are a little closer together, you can space them out a little more. But that's what it's going to look like after you crimp it. And to do the other side, you just do the same thing, just upside down. You run the wire through the stopper into the eye hook and then back through the stopper, and then put on your vice grips or have somebody hold it while you crimp the stopper. And now that I had a little bit of practice, this one looks way better than the first one. And if you notice the wire is a little loose, and to help with this, I'm just going to tighten the eye hooks, which is why earlier I said not to tighten them too much, because if there's a little slack in the line, you're able to get rid of it just by tightening these either a half turn or a full turn. You don't want to go too much, because then the wire's twisted and it won't look that good. But once that's all complete, and you've mastered the wire and the crimping and the cutting, just connect the rest of the eye hooks and you're good to go. So here's a before and after with the dishes on and then off, and it's nice to see that this isn't sagging or lowering or bending or anything like that, so it's working out just fine. It can hold a surprising amount of weight, and I was definitely impressed with the results. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. If you have any questions at all, let me know in the comments. Thank you again for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time.